Okay, everyone. Yeah. Okay, good evening, everybody, and good morning to some of you. We have two events today. Okay. First of all, I welcome all of you to today's event. So yesterday we all have celebrated two very important festivals in our life. One is, of course, the celebration of womanhood. Secondly, we have celebrated the colors and the love or celebration of victory over evil, what is called Holi. And today we have gathered together at the backdrop of these two great festivals to discuss about womanhood, the challenges she faces, the solutions, and to recognize some outstanding women in the world. The first part is a webinar on how the women are affected by the substance use disorder and how we can address them. Colombo Plan has come out with a new curriculum called Women's Intervention for Substance Exposure, or what we call WISE. The WISE curriculum emphasizes the need for developing a specialized care for women affected by substance use disorder. The women experience addiction in a different way than how men experience it. And their problems are different too. Today, Dr. Aditi will enlighten us about the need for a specialized care and also how we can address that and how the curriculum is designed. I'm sure you will receive this curriculum in the course of time from Echolink Institute also, most probably. Not so soon, little bit later. The second part of the program today is the award ceremony, where we honor two outstanding women who excelled in their services to the humanity, both in prevention and in recovery management. Congratulations to Odhirelang and Devika. And thank you all once again for gracing this occasion. Now over to Ramya, the President of Alumni Association, for a few words. I hope she is there today.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. A hearty welcome. Good evening to some of you. Good morning to some of you. I'm very happy to have the opportunity to welcome all of you here today for this really important webinar. We are here today because we are having this important webinar at a crucial time in this year, a time when women's issues need to come to the forefront. And Echolink has been taking advantage of the digital technology, and since the pandemic, they have been spreading the opportunities for everyone to get educated, especially in the substance abuse field. And today, with the UN's agenda for women, International Women's Day being DigitAll, meaning digital innovation for women, especially to increase gender equality using innovation and technology. With that, I'd like to welcome Dr. Thomas, our very special chief guest, Dr. Thirumagal, and our eminent speaker, Ms. Aditi, and everyone who is here to be a part of this important event, which is not only about the webinar and also about recognizing women who have contributed in their own respective ways in this field, in India and abroad. So I now request Dr. Thomas to take over the program. Thank you.
Okay, Tiara is here in our group, was supposed to introduce Aditi Mom. If she's not there, I will introduce, of course. Tiara, are you here?
So I think Tiara is not there. One
Yeah.
of us.
But anyway, Aditi Mom does not require much of introduction. She has been with us all throughout last 3 years as your teacher, as your mentor. But just one or two things I think I should say about Aditi Mom. She received what is a Woman of Inspiration award last year, which speaks a lot how she inspires us, how much actually he makes a difference in the way that we think after we listen to her in the training programs. So she has been a global trainer for almost 10 years at least. And more than 20 years, she was working in the clinical field, especially in TTK Hospital, Chennai. And then with all this ocean of clinical experience, now she is a trainer. And above all, she is a specialized trainer for WISE. WISE is, we have already mentioned, women, it's about the women substance use disorder and how we can address their problems. So we, on behalf of everybody, behalf of Alumni Association, who are the main host of today's program, and then of the Ecolink Institute, and everybody who have gathered here, I welcome Ms. Aditi Ganekar to this program. And over to you, ma'am. Enlighten us about what is WISE.
Thank you, Thomas, as usual, for that kind introduction. And thank you, Ramya. And hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to greet all of you on this very special occasion of Women's Day. And I'm sure, your thoughts resonate with mine that we should be celebrating a woman actually every day. It should not be just one day. And because women binds the families and communities, and hence when a woman is educated and empowered, we see a social change. So today we are going to look at the overview of Curriculum WISE, which is Women's Intervention for Substance Exposure, a comprehensive care for substance use developed by Colombo Plan and funded by Bureau of International Narcotic and Law Enforcement Affairs, United States Department. So let us look at it. Just give me a minute. I'll share my screen. Now, can we all see this? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Yes.
So women are not vulnerable. They are made to be one. And unlike men, women have unique needs throughout their lifespan, and that makes them very special. But at the same time, there are certain social determinants of health, each stage of that lifespan, which needs to be addressed. So let us look at this picture that I have depicted here. Right from the time the girl baby is born, there's a lot of rejection from many about her birth itself. And she's surrounded by a lot of hatred, a lot of negativity. As she grows up, she sees a lot of gender difference at home as vis-a-vis her brother at home. And there's a lot of discrimination that she undergoes. When she's growing much younger and she gets into her teenage, young women are being stressed by the community, by the families to look very beautiful. They are stressed by a lot of people in the family to look thin or look fat. And there's a lot of stress this teenage little girl undergoes. And she's just trying her level best to abide by what is expected. And we see a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress disorders, or even sometimes eating disorders during this stage of women. There are a lot of teenage pregnancies because of this also. As the woman grows up into her adulthood and there comes marriage, and we know there's a lot of pressure on women when she gets married, she has to adjust to a new home. And this new home, poses a lot of challenges on her, that she's supposed to be a perfect woman, doing the perfect job, and, so that everybody likes her. There's a lot of adjustment there also. And especially if the woman is working, then she has to balance between her work and her life at home, her career and her life at home. And this is a stage when normally a woman's career is at a takeoff. And really, she has to make that difficult choice of should I give it up or should I not? And all the more it happens when there's pregnancy that comes into it. You know, the woman is the one who undergoes throughout the pregnancy. Sometimes there are miscarriages, sometimes there are abortions. There is a pressure to bear a child, and whether she should look after her career or she should sit back home. These are a lot of stressors that she undergoes, and these stresses can cause a lot of, probably lead to a lot of gynecological disorders or cancers like ovarian cancers, cancer to the breast cancer and things like that. Even sometimes after pregnancy, when the baby is born, women undergoes a lot of stress, and there could be postpartum depression that she undergoes. So there are, at different stages of her developmental stages, there are a lot of challenges a woman faces. Let us look at when she has children at home. I'm sure that many women who work and have children at home constantly have this guilt feeling that they're not doing enough for their child. And they have been told that by many in our community, just because she's a woman. So she has to bear that guilt and carry on with her career, as well as carry on being a parent at home. As the woman grows up into a midlife, there is menopause, there is a lot of crisis at that point of time. Children go away on their own, for their own things to do. And there can be a depression at that stage also. That is a time when she's retiring. There is going to be a limited income on her side. And when the old age sets in, sometimes the partner also is gone. And always the woman feels an economic crunch unless she's saved enough for herself. And then she doesn't know she has to live on her own the entire remaining old age that is there. When we are looking at all these stages and developmental stages of the woman, at every stage we saw there are a lot of stressors or triggers that might ask the woman to use substances, the triggers that might take the woman towards substance use. And let us look at some of the reasons for women who initiate the substance use. Basically the coercion to use drugs by drug-using intimate partners. There are multiple family factors leading to the need for self-medication, as we talked about, especially when a woman gets married, she's expected to perform different kinds of things and in a perfect manner. Multiple complex social, environmental factors are there. There are a lot of life stressors at different stages of her life. She's into a new relationship. She's supposed to be good to her and the entire family. And there are a lot of relationship issues at those times, which can form kind of a stressor to her. Physical, sexual, and emotional abuse can lead to a lot of trauma in a woman. And if the woman is a sex worker, all the more reason that she uses substances. And there's a whole lot of peer pressure sometimes for the woman to use and enter substance use. So these are some of the major reasons why a woman enters substances. Now, women around the world who use substances face a lot of challenges that increase their vulnerability to gender-based violence, economic discrimination, human rights violation, physical and mental comorbidities, high rates of incarceration, and intense stigma from all the spheres of society. And such discrimination can act as a significant barrier for this woman to enter treatment and encourage the continuation of the victimization of women who use substances. Now, traditionally, more men than women use substances. In the last few decades, countries have recognized that number of female drug users continue to increase. And as the number of female drug users continue to expand, it is important to understand gender-specific etiological factors related to the substance use of the woman, the phenomenology, the cause and the outcome, and to implement effective prevention, treatment, recovery, and social reintegration strategies for this particular woman. Women tend, at a national and an international level. Basically, women tend to start using substances at an older age than men. And yet, women develop a substance use disorder more quickly than men do. Unlike men, women tend to experience greater medical, physiological, and psychological impairment earlier in their drug use life, of course. When women enters treatment, for substance use disorder, they often present with more severe clinical profile than men, despite lesser frequency and lesser quantity of substance use. And this whole phenomena is called telescoping. A woman's chances of becoming a substance use disorder, catching the substance use disorder is much, much higher than a man. Psychological factors, psychiatric comorbidities, especially the childhood and more recent physical, sexual, and emotional abuse are the key issues that must be addressed in an integrated way during the treatment. There are a lot of socio-cultural factors that include the fact that society expects a woman to be a wife, a mother, a caretaker, a sexual partner, a nurturer, can influence how women use drugs and respond to treatment. Now, women having to make, there are a lot of obstacles why women seek treatment and do not seek treatment. The treatment providers they lack childcare services. There is a prejudicial and stigmatizing attitudes from the treatment providers and the community towards the women. Women roles as the economic provider, as a home tender, as a child giver, or other responsibilities. And with all these responsibilities at home that a woman plays, or the roles the woman plays, a woman has to make this gut-wrenching choice between parenting and treatment. Now, there are a lot of factors which motivate a woman to enter treatment. And we must also know that, especially pregnancy, when a woman is pregnant, she wants to give up drugs. She's ready for a treatment. When a woman has children, she wants to give it up again for her child's sake. And if the partner is ready to enter treatment, woman is willingly ready to enter treatment. Now, there are important issues, that is related to the success of treatment outcomes. And this actually talks about why certain treatments for women could be successful if the treatment center has co-occurring diagnosis. If they are going to do that, then also addressing the trauma of the woman in one-to-one individual counseling session. There should be on-site child care, and also women-only programs tend to be successful. There were studies done that women who enter the women-only programs, who participate in such programs, report being better understood and can easily relate to other female peers. So it has been studied and it has an evidence that women are more successful in women-centric, women-only programs. Now, let us look at some of the policies, the drug policies, the health policies that we have. And women's rights and gender equality are rarely addressed or seen in drug policies. Public health effects of drugs are gender-specific. Women-specific needs are often ignored in treatment protocols. And hence, when this was seen in 2016, the report of the International Narcotics Control Board focused on women, and the UN General Assembly on Drugs member state committees agreed to bring a gender perspective into the drug policies and programs. So how should the treatment be? A woman's treatment should be an intersection of issues related to her race, looking at her race and ethnicity, her pregnancy and parenting status, her drug-related challenges, her co-occurring and trauma-related issues, and of course, problems coming from criminal justice and women's incarcerations. If that is not enough, for a treatment to be good or successful, there are other treatment environment that matters. So treatment needs to be approached from a complete context of the woman's life. Need to create an environment that fosters safety, respect, and dignity for that woman. Also, women recover in an environment that creates healing. And the keys to healing are safety. The woman should feel completely safe in the treatment setup or environment. There should be the treatment providers and the clinician should be trustworthy. There should be a mutuality or collaboration related to her goals in her life and while doing a treatment plan. Women should be empowered with a lot of skills so that when she goes out of the treatment program, during her recovery path, she can use those skills to bring up her life. She can live on her own. And of course, all the decisions made related to the woman during the treatment or after the treatment should be with the woman's choice. She should get a choice to make her own decisions, and there should be full autonomy. So in context to address these issues and these unique needs of women that we have seen at different developmental stages of these women, the Colombo Plan on behalf of INL organized an expert working committee group of 10 nations, and they addressed the substance use disorders in women and their treatment needs, which initiated the WISE curriculum, and this was piloted in 2019. The specialized curriculum for addressing substance use disorders, the WISE curriculum, Women's Intervention for Substance Exposure, have 4 courses. The course 1 talks about the clinical care for women with substance use disorders. The course 2 talks about trauma responsive and family-centered care for women and their children. Course 3 talks about caring for women with substance use disorders across the lifespan in specialized circumstances. And course 4 talks about creating and implementing a woman-responsive substance use disorder treatment model of care. All these treatment curriculums addresses these certain key issues, and those are keys to developing a comprehensive care model for women. They talk about basic theories and concepts guiding the treatment of women. They talk about legal and ethical issues in providing treatment to women, care of women in specialized circumstances, trauma-responsive treatment for women, and recovery-oriented systems of care for women. So we would be addressing all these key issues in these 4 curriculums. The ultimate goal of the treatment process are to enable the women to take control of their lives, improve their physical and mental health, maintain a healthy relationships with their children, their families, the communities, and finally, to engage in a meaningful activities that help them to feel connected to self, others, and the community. We hope that this inspires you to look at the women's treatment in a different perspective and help women heal in a specialized care. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. That was very comprehensive and gives us all an understanding of not only what is available for women, and also what a lot of us in this field who are catering in the rehab and treatment sector can do, what they can, how they can equip themselves. And maybe many of us women can come forward to maybe start something in this direction and partner with institutions like Ecolink and then other government organizations where, like one of our awardees is doing, which I will talk about later, and take this cause forward. Thank you so much for sharing this information.
Thank you, everyone.
It was a pleasure. I have a little announcement before we proceed. A certificate will be given to everyone who is here till the end. We will put out a little information that we would like to collect. There is a link for the form. For a form, please fill it up with how you want the name to be printed on the certificate. So proceeding further, we will also have a Q&A, which I will help facilitate. I would now request Dr. Thomas to say a few words.
Okay, I have a question only, no few words. We all agree that women have special needs, and treating them along with the men is actually not the solution. It doesn't bring in a desired outcome. But with all these things in mind, we still observe that very few women only enters treatment. It could be also because we don't have facilities. So these are some of the challenges. I mean, I just want to ask you, what are some of the challenges which you have observed, in preventing women from entering into treatment, and maybe in even creating enough opportunities for women?
Absolutely.
So would like to get some insights about that from you.
Yeah, thank you for asking that, Dr. Thomas, because it's a very pertinent question. And we do have very few women centers in India itself. I don't know, maybe we could count on the fingers, and we don't know whether those centers are evidence-based and practicing evidence-based practices, whether they are following trauma-informed care services in the women's center. So there are few women's centers, and women are more stigmatized than men who use substances. Women are often left alone if she's found to be using substance by her parents or by her husband and their families. So we've seen a lot of women entering treatment where I used to work, who would come and the families would not come for help, or they would not help the woman during recovery. She had to recover on her own. So she's left all on her own. Secondly, women are economically dependent sometimes on men. And so the decision to enter treatment is entirely the families and the husbands. And so she has no decision making as to whether she requires treatment or not. Thirdly, the fact that separation, as we talked about, childcare facility is extremely important in a women treatment center, because separating a woman from her children is extremely traumatic for the woman. You are on one hand trying to heal the woman from her substances. On the other hand, we are giving her the trauma of separating the children from the mother. And so having a child facility is extremely, extremely important. Women, also considering that the woman would have undergone a lot of trauma during her childhood or growing up period, the facility should be trauma-informed and trauma-sensitive. And one of the courses talks about that. And so understanding trauma or trying to heal from that trauma is very important, taking into consideration that she would have undergone a childhood trauma. And, when she comes for a treatment, we would be able to handle that. So there are a lot of restrictions as far as treatment centers for men are considered. In the men-centric treatment centers, this is not seen. They're not looked at as, there is no stigma attached, not much of stigma attached to these men who come for this treatment centers. Their families are with them, so come what may. And so there are a lot of support systems available for a man, unlike a woman. And that is very, very challenging. And so floating a lot of treatment centers catering to women, which are women-centric, where women work and women are trauma-informed and the entire team is trauma-informed and sensitive, is very, very important for women entering the treatment. And also there needs to be a lot of social change that needs to happen, that if a woman is using substances, she's just thrown out of the family. She's just, not being considered as a part of the family. So that should not happen. And it's a disease that needs to be, it can happen to a man, it can happen to a woman, and we need treatment for that. And there is a treatment for that. So there's a lot of awareness we need to do related to women's substance use.
Okay, any other questions from the floor is welcome. We have time.
Yeah, some of you can raise your hand, and if you don't want to ask, you may put it in the chat box if you have network issues.
Even that, yes.
As you answer to the question, that women also needed to more facilities for when they are on the program or rehab center, they need that. Just like men has go to rehab center and they have more professionals to take care of them, and there are more facilities. But when it comes to the women, we need to extra more careful. And why we are living backward, it is because we don't have professionals. Okay, that is the main thing, that we don't have that much enough professional as we have men. We don't have enough professional in this field of rehabilitation. Because the
Absolutely.
last 6 months, my own observance, I have observed that many inquiry calls are coming for the women, but I can't accommodate them because I don't have any professional. Either we have a certain goal for such a thing. So
Absolutely.
this can be only possible when we have more and more professional in the women professionals. Then
Yes.
surely we'll be able to answer.
Yes.
And such as that, according to my experience, the actually always we are when we the women, as you started to talk very well, you started that Women's Day should celebrate every day. It is not that one day we call and adore, and but every day. So that's what my ideal is also from the background where I gone on board of. I have always witnessed women are given an equal position like men. So
Absolutely.
I don't see now as we are also growing. World is we also change the mindset of looking at the women. Always they are being tortured. They are not given equal. Now our Indian president is a woman.
Yes.
Indian president is a woman. So
Yes.
let us try to not always keep them on the down level, but if we can always talk.
Hello. Hello.
This can help.
Yes. Absolutely,
Hello.
Georges. Well said, actually, very well said. And we do lack trained professionals to work with women. And that's exactly why this WISE curriculum came into being, because they also realized that there are no policies related to specific women gender. They were all men-centric policies related to health, related to even addiction. And so women were given more importance. Women working in the field of addiction were asked to, be a part of the group of forming policies. Women who live in areas where substances are produced and traded were also a part of their policy making, because they understand how that happens. So now things are changing, and slowly, yes, we will see a social change, and we would love to see more women centric treatment programs and specialized care where they would give a specialized care for women. Thank you, Georges, for that. Shangri-La?
Hi, good evening. I'll just switch on a light so my face is visible. Yeah, so my question is, there are women who are there in the
Even
treatment
before we
program.
started the session, somebody was already crying. It created.
Sorry, I lost my train of thought there.
One moment. I see that some of you may be speaking with your mics on. Kindly just be mindful while someone is speaking. Shangri-La, go on.
Yeah, I just lost my train of thought there. I'll try and catch up on it. My question is specifically related to the most vulnerable women section, which I come across in the age group of 12 to 18 years old. We have self-help programs like the Adult Children, the ALA Teens, the AA Young Adults, etc. But this is one vulnerable section that we are not able to help into the self-help groups because of lack of legal structure. One of the things which prevents recovered persons from hosting 12 to 18-year-olds in a self-help group is the fear of being persecuted if in case things do go awry. For example, there is a girl who is got a very severely controlling narcissistic mom. She has a father who is substance abusing currently. She is being prostituted by her dealer. She's 17 years old. She desperately needs help. She is an addict, but there is a side of telling her to meet a counselor. We are not able to help her. Could you guide me some of the legal guidelines which surround self-help groups, whereby, at least there would be a safe space for such young women to come and talk about the issues that they're facing? Thank you.
So to answer your question, Shangri-La, I'm not aware of any legal guidelines related to self-help groups, that how they should come and legally talk about it. The point is we need to follow the ethics. And you're talking about a group which tells me that these are children more than women. And so the importance of child curriculum or treatment is also, we need to remember the principles of certain child treatment. What do we do when we treat a child? So those principles can also be used in this particular age group that you are talking about. So there are, I'm not aware of, if somebody is in India aware of any legal guidelines related to self-help groups or women groups of that age, then you can always talk about it right now and let us all hear about it. But I'm not aware of any such legal guidelines in India, at least.
Okay. Okay, Aditi ma'am.
Yeah. Francis, go
Aditi
ahead.
ma'am. Yeah, I
Francis?
was listening her. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
So this is because she is under 17. They must approach child line. Child line is very strong in India.
Okay.
And the child line, now they are going to change it to there. Now that being going to change into different. So in the respective states, they must contact the child line and they must do some help for her. Otherwise, as you said, there is no law about self-group and etc. in our country. We also know that even men are treated very bad in our country. Even the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment has termed the treatment centers are center for addicts. Very stigmatized words they are using. So in our country, this people with substance use problems are treated very bad, whether men or women. Anyhow, thank you very much for this particular session, because since last 5 years, I have seen a lot of surge in women addiction, and a lot of girls are getting used to drugs. And we have a lot of girls between the age of 14 to 23 coming for a treatment here in our hospital too. So thank you. I think we should take up this issue and we should continue, since you are the expert person in this in our country. So thank you very much. Very good session. Loved it.
Thank you, Francis. And Shangri-La, so Francis was suggesting something called Child Life. So you can check that on, but that will come under children. So there'll be delinquent laws or, some laws of the country related to children, how you can help this child.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Oh, there is
I
a question.
wanted to, oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
I
There's a
wanted to
question in the
add
chat
to,
room.
Yeah, Devika, go ahead.
as Francis sir said, there is a child helpline 1098. Actually, every state government has adopted. There is missing children, child trafficking and human trafficking, everything, they will take care of these cases. Yeah, whenever this trafficking is happening, the sex or human or child trafficking, the substance use goes parallelly with that.
Correct.
And they also work on, when the child abuse is happening in a traffic junctions where the children are being used, for the purpose of begging. So all these aspects will be addressed by this 1098. So it's been active in our state and a lot of work is happening. So probably that is where it has to be informed legally.
Okay. So Devika, it's called Child Helpline?
Yes, ma'am. Child
Okay.
helpline.
So I think
1098.
Shangri-La, you can take a note of that.
I did already. Thank you.
Yeah, and 1098, she said.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Thank you, Devika.
Yes,
Is
ma'am.
this specific to the Telangana region or?
No. It is a national helpline. So they will direct the calls to whatever the region they call from.
All right. There is a
And
question in the
Jyoti-
chat.
Jyoti says 1098. Yeah, I think so. Something
Yeah,
like that.
1098. So Vaza Dambe is asking a question that do women with substance use disorders prefer female therapist instead of male therapist? I'm asking as a lot of them may have gone under. Yes, Vaza, it was actually researched and there's an evidence saying that women treatment is successful if they have women only staff, because they do they can actually open up with the females, and maybe they have undergone an abuse with the men and they don't feel so safe with men around. So women are do better with women only staff, whereas men do better with mixed staff. So mixed gender stuff. That's what they've studied.
Aditi, was there any study done about in comparison with the men, what is the recovery rate for women? Was there any study anywhere done so far?
Not that I'm aware of, Thomas.
Okay.
Because there are very few women-centric centers all around the world, actually. Not many are there. Not only in India, all around the world. There are very few only women centers which have these evidence-based practices.
The only country I've seen with at least 10 centers were Afghanistan.
Yes.
For children also.
But unfortunately, Afghanistan facing a lot of other issues. They could not work fully, though they had these centers. I've seen one center in the USA, which was working very well, of Andre Jones. And so that was one center which was doing remarkably well with women staff. And yes, to answer that question of Waza Dambe, that then the preference should be given to women who should be learning, or getting trained into this. So, yes.
I think Avijit has a question. He's been putting his hand. Avijit, you can use the raised hand symbol instead of raising your hand.
That was put on by mistake. What I was trying to say that in West Bengal, in Calcutta and different parts of West Bengal, there are many treatment centers. Those are women only, women specific. So it's not that India doesn't have any. I know personally about at least 10 centers like that. Those are women's only and run by women. Everything done by women, and a few male counselors, those are experienced, they go there and psychoeducate or counseling, do counseling there.
All right, Avijit. I was not aware of that.
Yeah, and we have one in Mangalore, which is also doing very well. Around 300 plus people they have treated with good recovery rates.
All right.
In Bangalore also, I think there are, but very few comparing to men, but it's catching up, the demand for special treatment centers for women.
There is another question from Shangri-La in the chat asking about whether there are any kind of trauma-informed frameworks for women. And yes, there are. We have one of the courses in WISE is teaching about trauma-informed care or trauma-informed being sensitive. And so there is a framework of what is trauma-informed and how the center be trauma-informed. So there are guidelines and protocols if you want to make your center or your counseling unit trauma-informed.
Well, I think time has come to
okay, the last question from Swati Tiwari. The framework of treatment is the same for both men or women. Its comfort factor is different.
It was not a question, actually. It was just the answer to Shangri-La's question.
Okay.
Yes, please. She asked if the framework of treatment is different. The framework on which we work is always the same. The steps that we follow is always the same. It is just the comfort factor, because when we have a female, then there are multiple aspects or avenues we need to look into before we go into treatment of substance abuse, because substance abuse is just a part that comes in much later. The trauma, the suffering, the family issues, all that are always a precursor to substance abuse. It comes in much later, wherein in case of men, it is mostly peer pressure, teamwork, something, and it starts very easily. So it is just the factor which is different, but the steps for treatment or the framework with which you try and treat the client is the same.
All right.
Yes, please.
Ramya?
Okay.
So if there are no more questions, we'll move on to another main event for today, the award ceremony. Any more questions, please leave it in the chat box. We will get back to you either via email or on WhatsApp. Does that sound okay?
Ramya, before we get into the ceremony, can we have a photo session? Because
yes,
and then we just get into that, no? Because otherwise, everybody, can you come in video, please? Let us have your lovely faces on International Women's Day. Okay, oh, Jyoti is also here. Wonderful to see you. Everybody, please come in video.
Tiara, if you are there, I I would
Tiara,
like
don't
to
introduce Aditi
take
again.
up this role.
Yeah. Okay.
Tiara is taking up the role of photography.
Okay. So who will click the photos? Yeah.
Me, I think me, sir.
Okay,
I will
okay,
take a
Tiara.
picture for
Okay.
all of you.
Okay.
Nice to see you
Everybody
all.
smile.
Hello, I'm
Men and
Tiara.
women.
I want to take a picture. There is a 6 slide, so hang in there, right? Okay, the first slide, please. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Yes.
The second slide. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Oh.
The third slide. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Yeah.
The fourth slide. 1, 2, 3. Okay. The fifth slide. Okay. 1, 2, 3. The last slide. 1, 2, 3. Okay. That's enough.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, Tiara, for being
So share those
paparazzi
photos with all
tonight.
of us. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, lovely to see the faces of so many women and men together in today's in the screen here. So we are entering into a very beautiful ceremony of recognizing two very important, outstanding women in our group. When we look at each of you, I know everybody is outstanding. There is no doubt about that. But definitely, from your recommendations and your nominations, we have just selected two of you, because too many people we cannot award. So we have two people, very gentle women who have been very active in the field of substance use disorder prevention and management from African continent and from Asian continent. So we have Devika from India and Odiralang Kasale from Botswana today as our awardees, very distinguished women. So we have the chief guest, Thiruma, with us. She is a person known to all of you, and both of you are your students only. So over to Thiruma just for a few words of appreciation that two of them, you know them. So you don't need any introduction about them, but they have done very well last year. So let's start with this opening remarks from Thiruma.
Congratulations to both of you. Ms. Odilarang from Botswana. It has always been a pleasure to meet you on the screen and in person, Odilarang. You come across as a woman of the quiet air of assurance, very unassuming in the way you deal with people. But I see you as a woman full of spice and spunk, if I may use the word. I admire the courage you had in talking about and opening the doors for people in recovery, the conviction and honesty with which you've been able to express your ideas, and the guts to walk your talk. I mean, you do what you said is important to do, making you a woman worthy of admiration. So we are very happy and proud that we are able to honor you today. Wishing you all the best in the future, Odilarang. Dr. Devika from Hyderabad, India. First impressions are lasting. So from the very first day, I saw Devika as a very confident, infectiously enthusiastic, cheerful, very passionate about her work. And it's not at all surprising that she has so many success stories to her credit. Devika, you have an outstanding skill set in terms of networking with the powers that be and on the ground. So it's a great pleasure for us to wish you all the best. And we send goodwill your way so that you'll continue to do work on the ground and make a difference. It's a great honor for all of us to be able to appreciate both these outstanding women on this Women's Day celebration. Wishing you all the best.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay, now over to Ronnie. Ronnie, please take over.
Thank you a lot, Thirumagal, ma'am. You certainly know how to make our two female awardees feel extra special with your kind words. Thank you for your magical touch. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the award ceremony of our Outstanding Women Professional in SUD. My name is Ronnie. I'm the managing partner of EchoLink Institute, and I will be your MC for this evening. First, I would like to invite Odira Lang to join us for the awards ceremony. Odira Lang has made a significant contribution to the field of substance use disorder on recovery sector, and we are delighted to honor her tonight. Before we proceed, let's take a moment to watch a brief 1-minute video on Odira Lang's highlighting her achievements and dedication. That was great, isn't it? Now I would like to call upon Shalini Sagar, who will introduce Odira Lang and read the recitation.
Thank you, Ronnie. Good evening, everyone. I'm so happy, delighted, and proud to read this, to recite this today evening. This award is extremely special, and I feel it's an opportunity given to me by EcoLink, and I hope I do justice by reciting this award. This award is presented to Ms. Odira Lang Kasale, an outstanding alumna of EcoLink Institute, a member of ISA Botswana, and a representative of the country in the Global Mental Health Peer Network. As a member of consultative group at WHO, she has contributed to the WHO Mental Health Report 2022. Her role as the founder of Sisha Recovery Support Services and as the trainer for the Peers Universal Recovery Curriculum is extremely remarkable. In recognition of her outstanding achievements, EcoLink Institute, an ISEP Award winner for excellence in education provision, is proud to cover Leadership Award on the 9th day of March 2023 on the auspicious occasion of International Women's Day. Congratulations, Ms. Kasale.
Thank you, Shalini. Your words truly captured Odira Lang's remarkable achievements and her commitment to the field of SUD.
Am I audible?
Now,
am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
You were. Okay, now it's time to present the award. I would like to call upon Dr. Thomas to declare and present the award. Let's have some music and claps to celebrate this incredible achievement.
Okay. On behalf of the EcoLink Institute and EcoLink Alumni Association, I declare this International Recovery Leadership Award to be bestowed on Odira Lang Kasale from Botswana. Congratulations, Botswana lady. Dear Dire. Clap your hands, everybody. All done? Okay.
Congratulations, Odira Lang, on receiving this well-deserved award. We would love to hear a few words from you now, Odira Lang, about your experience and thoughts on receiving this award.
Good morning and good afternoon and good evening to everyone, depending on which part of the world you're on currently. I am overwhelmed and really, really privileged to receive this award. My journey with Ecolink goes way back into November 2020. When I was just a trainee. I began as a participant in the Universal Treatment Curriculum training, and I've had the benefit of very insightful exchanges, profound learnings, and a broader sense of community, because the journey of recovery tends to be lonely sometimes. So when you walk into a space and you are welcome and you are accepted for who you are, especially because I come from a community where there's still a lot of stigma for women, even after being in recovery, there's still a lot of stigma for people in recovery. So walking into a space where you are accepted and welcomed and encouraged, as I have been in the Ecolink as a trainee and as an alumni of the association, is really heartwarming, and it has contributed to all the accolades that were read out before I was bestowed the award. I'm very thankful to each and every member on the Alumni Association, and I'm very, very thankful to Dr. Thomas, Mem Maditi, Mem Tiru, Francis, all my facilitators from the UTC training. I believe you have laid a very solid foundation in the woman I am right now and the woman I am becoming in my role as a recovery professional in my community, and even on the international platforms that I do serve. I'm very overwhelmed. I'm going to keep it short, but thank you from the bottom of my heart for this award. I'm very grateful, and thank you.
Thank you, Dire, for your kind words. It was very inspiring. Moving on, I would like to invite Dr. Devika to join us for this award ceremony. Dr. Devika has also made a significant contribution to the prevention field of substance use disorder, and we are delighted to honor her tonight. Let's take a moment to watch a brief 1-minute video on Dr. Devika's highlight and highlight her remarkable work and dedication.
मुझे क्या पता नू
Now I would like to call upon Ramya, who will introduce Dr. Devika Rani and read the citation.
Thank you. Hearty congratulations, both of you ladies, Dire and Devika, whom I can say are my friends and colleagues. This award is presented to Devika Rani, Dr. Devika, an outstanding alumna of Ecolink Institute and an active member of ISUP India, who brings over 22 years of functional experience as a therapist, prevention expert, and researcher in the field of addiction and HIV. She is the founder director of the Amrita Foundation and its Addiction Rehabilitation Center since 2009. She held a series of awareness and prevention programs for youth groups with the police force, excise department, and the Narcotic Control Bureau in Hyderabad. In recognition, Ecolink Institute, an ISUP Award winner for excellence, announces and proudly bestows the title of International Prevention Leadership Award to Dr. Devika Rani. I now request Dr. Thomas to formally present the award.
On behalf of Ecolink Institute, and Echoling Alumni Association, I declare this International Prevention Leadership Award to be bestowed on Dr. Devika Rani from Hyderabad, India. Congratulations, Devika. Let's clap.
Ronnie, I think there's a small technical issue.
Yes,
Dr. Devika's citation award did not come on the screen.
It didn't appear.
No,
it did appear, but it was D-Race award. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think now we can have the music and the clap.
Yes. Digital class, digital. Yeah, digital.
Congratulations, Dr. Ka. Congratulations, Devika, on receiving this well-deserved award. We would love to hear a few words from you, Devika, about your experience and your thoughts on receiving this award.
It came as a surprise for me. I'm so overwhelmed. I'm so grateful to all of you, whoever has recommended me, whoever has, you have recognized my work. And since 23 years, since 2000, I'm in this field of addiction. So lots of ups and downs I have been, it was not easy for me, but kind of family background I have come from. And many a times, a lot of people have told this is not a field for me to be with. So yeah, one of the trait I had somebody challenging that it's not for you. I wanted to prove that yes, I can do. And I don't know, indirectly, ma'am, Thiru ma'am, I met you in 2007, in TTK when I was going through. Always I took, out of, it's not, I would say legally I came into TTK through the NISD, but I just, requested. I was like a kind of a go-getter at that time. So I wanted to have the training. I wanted to, because I read your book, the one which you have written, Recovery Tools. So that inspired me a lot. I've always wanted to see the person. So I met Shanti ma'am, Thiru ma'am, Aditi ma'am, and other people, a lot of women in TTK. That I would say that turning point in my life where I said, I'm not alone here. I think I can be somewhere, where you people are doing a lot of work. So in person, after that, I admired you a lot at that time. And yeah, you and Aditi ma'am were inspired me a lot, along with Shanti ma'am. And since that time, I never looked back. I thought this is what I'm going to be in this. So I have been, doing the research work, and whatever the opportunities I was creating for myself, it never came to me, just like that, I was not called. So even the law enforcement agencies, what I'm working, my association with whoever I'm working with right now, it has been 20 years back, I have established the contacts. So that is where my, recognition I could establish. I had to work hard to have that, be in limelight in this field. So that is paying off. And after coming to this, pandemic has helped me a lot, I would say, because it opened a platform to see a lot of people in this field, where I can relate, share my ideas, especially the EcoLink platform when I was alumni. Then I could see Jyoti, Ramya, a lot of other, Shalini, everyone, doing a lot of work, Sulekha ma'am. So Anusha, so a lot of interactions has helped me really that, yes, a lot of things can be done in our place, exchanging ideas and inspiring each other. And it's continuing even after 2 years. And any course come on my way, I think I'm doing it so that I can be in touch, I can learn, and I can grasp a lot of things. And ISUP has opened, global platform for me when I was, got selected for UNODC DDR training. And that has helped me to look things globally, where I can pitch in, where I have a lot of learning I have done through that. So it's never looking back. And this award is really, I would say, is helping me to increase my responsibility. I think I should take it, carry forward, and be in association with you all, take your help. And I think I can achieve a lot with all your help. Thank you so much for recognizing my efforts in this field. I'm so overwhelmed. Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. Now it's
Thank you,
time
Dr.
to
Devika.
yeah. Just one or
Okay,
two people.
thank you,
like,
everyone.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, so thank you everyone for joining us tonight for this wonderful celebration of our outstanding women professionals in SUD. And that is all for award ceremonies, folks. Thank you for this opportunity on being an MC
we want
this
to
evening.
hear we want to hear a male voice, no? Like I want to ask Francis to say a few words, and then with that we can close, okay? So Francis, are you here? Because women want men to appreciate also sometimes. Francis have disappeared, I think.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
I'm in a place where I cannot open up my videos. I am very sorry for that.
Your voice enough.
Okay. So this is indeed an auspicious occasion. It's a joyful occasion that two of our alumni are being awarded and recognized for their work. I appreciate both of you. I know Devika very personally. I think I have seen and talked to Dayar also. So both of you take care, and it's a kind of recognition from a worldly recognized training institute. Please carry on your work. We are all there.
Okay. Thank you, Francis, for your encouraging words. Anybody else want to say anything? One or two more people, and then we close. Is it okay, Ronnie? Anybody else want to open up your... Atiti, you want to say anything? Your students now?
Yeah, I resonate what Thiru said and Francis said. I think they are wonderful women. A long way to go. And yes, they are going to be successful. And I'm so glad that women are getting inspired to get more and more into this field. And so keep doing the good work. We'll all go together as long as we can. And then you're the ones who are going to take over. So thank you. Keep it up.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you, Aditi madam. Now I call upon Shalini Sagar for the vote of thanks for this evening.
Shalini Sagar.
Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yeah,
Delhi is raining and the signal is very bad here. Can I keep my video off?
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Such a great session with our eminent chief guest, extremely valuable resource person, participants, and my dearmost alumni association. I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude and special thanks to our speaker of the evening, Ms. Aditi Ghanekar, as well as our chief guest, Dr. Thirumagal V, for sharing valuable insights. My sincere thanks to Dr. Thomas, Director, Ecolink Institute, for his all-time support, guidance, and mentorship. I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Thanks to the participants across the globe for making this evening a successful evening. Last but not least, my dearmost alumni association for encouraging each other across the globe. Such webinars will be an ongoing event. We shall keep you all posted with the same. Before I conclude, I would like to inform you all about an upcoming general election. We request you all to participate in the process. Thank you all once again from the bottom of my heart for making this event a great success. Thank you.
I should also thank the Alumni Association. Ramya has been so much around today for all your efforts. Like, your 2 years you have guided this association, and the time has come for a general body meeting, and then perhaps to also have new leaders to come up in our association. Thank you, everyone. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yeah. So the program is in YouTube. We will be sharing that link with others who couldn't come for today. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, Thiru ma'am, for your gracious presence with us. And Aditi ma'am, definitely, thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you once again. Thank you, Thomas sir.
Thank you, Devi.
Thank you, Thiru ma'am. Thank you, Aditi ma'am.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you all, my friends. Bye.